Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm really excited because I'm sitting down with a professional who is helping individuals and families make one of the biggest financial decisions of their life, and that is real estate. As many of you know, I work closely with clients on financial planning, and buying or selling a home is a major part of that journey. So, today we are going to talk about the real estate market here in Ontario, what people should know before buying or selling, and most importantly, how working with the right professional can make all the difference. So, let's dive in. I'm introducing you to Shelly Sharma. Shelly, can you start by introducing yourself, where you're based, and what do you do?
Hi, Shivani. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
This is your realtor, Shelly Sharma, as Shivani introduced myself. Very nice, Shivani. Thank you. I'm a realtor. I've been in this industry since 2011 and helping homeowners and first-time home buyers and investors finding property and, just helping them find what they need and achieving their goals, their financial goals. And as you know, real estate is one of the biggest investment in somebody's life
Very true.
and to make the right decision and to work with the right people is very, very important. So that makes the decision. And I just help people.
Yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, because we know that this is the biggest asset they build in their lifetime.
Of course
So
it
they
is, yeah.
need to work with professionals.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, Shelley, what inspired you to get into the real estate? What's your story behind this?
Oh my gosh, you won't believe it. It was my home. I sold it through another agent. So I won't name the agent, but very nice person. We still are very good friends. And this
Beautiful.
back in 2010, 11, I used to live in a townhome
Mm-hmm.
right by Sheridan College Steels and Highway 10. They were new townhomes development there by Sundial, and we bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as my family was growing, I had two boys. They were little, but now they've grown up. I have a third one now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we felt that we know we need to change it,
Mm-hmm.
to a bigger home, a detached perhaps, and like everybody else, do the same thing,
True.
start from small and then go to the
Then go.
bigger
Yes.
property. And we seek the help of this realtor, and he was so nice, and he was so amazed to see how I kept my home and how my even my pantry is so organized. He said this is the best pantry he has ever seen in his real estate career. And
That's nice.
my home, he said he doesn't need staging. And I was like, wow, what's a
What
staging?
is
It was
staging?
the first time ever I knew, oh, many of these homes are staged, and that's how they look so perfect,
Yeah, because when we are not in that field or we don't know how things are being done. So that's
Oh, this
good
is
to
so
know you
true.
learn that.
So true. And I come from a fashion background, right? I have a degree in arts, and then I did fashion designing, and
Amazing.
I did export management too. But besides that point, when I incorporate those skills in my home decor, and that actually helped. And my home was sold very fast,
Hmm.
quick sale within a week.
Hmm.
And the process was so simple. And I
Yeah.
was very, very amazed and very much inspired by this gentleman. And then, that makes
You
um,
think that maybe this is something you like.
this is something I would like to do. And then, I could do that with my own time and I could take care of my home, my family, my kids. And then I could
Beautiful.
be a working woman, a working professional, and
True.
helping other people, my experience and my good experience, and, give
Mhm.
the same thing to my clients.
Beautiful. That's nice. And that's great. I always like to understand the person behind the profession, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we are all normal people. We have families, we have children, we have life, and then we choose a profession. And of course, there is always a story. I tell you a little bit my story.
Okay.
Being a financial planner, I took a big loss at the age of 23 by opening a business, and I'm
Oh,
22,
no.
23 years old, a loss of a $50,000.
Oh
Now
my
you
God.
imagine, and you know why? Because we are not taught how the money works.
Yes,
We just think,
this is
okay,
the true
we have
fact.
dreams and we run after them. My dad's co-signed the loan for me
Yeah.
to open a used car dealership.
Okay,
And
okay.
then what happened, anyways, long story short, I'm not gonna take too much time, but that's when I learned that, oh my God, you need to know how money works. You cannot just see that, okay, I'm gonna do this and do it. You need to know the basics, how to build wealth, how to build a business, right?
True,
So
true.
that's made me come into this to understand that I'm like, there's so many people making the same mistake.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and in your case, you thought, okay, you want to take care of a family and you liked something and you thought, okay, let's just do this.
Yeah, and
So,
it's
yeah,
fun,
go ahead.
and you wouldn't believe meeting with people and listening to them, listening to what backgrounds they come from, and everybody has different backgrounds, everybody have different stories, and everybody has different needs for real estate.
True,
You
true.
know?
It's amazing like
Yeah,
how you meet, and same in my business too. Meeting with different families, different
yeah.
problems, different goals. Isn't it just
It,
amazing
it
that
is,
you work
it
with
is, it
people?
is. But it's fun, I make it as
And I
fun.
think, especially Shelly, being a woman, like
Yeah,
we love to talk, we love to know, right? Maybe, I think more than men, right? So I
yeah,
think being in a, like even for me and you in a people business, it's just one of the most amazing things that thing has happened to us.
yeah.
So from here, I'll take you to the, can you walk us through an experience your client had with you, if you would like to share that story with my viewers?
Sure. I have actually many. So I'll share a recent one.
Okay,
So
sure.
this client, he has his family here, but
Mm-hmm.
he lives in Middle East countries, one of those
Okay.
countries, and
Mm-hmm.
his work is there, everything is there. So his income is not Canadian income.
Okay.
So his income is a foreign income, and then his family is living on rent. And by the way, when they moved here, I was the one who helped them to find this lease property, and now
Beautiful.
he was ready to move in to buy his own.
Mm-hmm.
So he approached me, and I was like, okay, let's get the mortgage approval first. And you
Mm-hmm.
won't believe, not very many banks do
The
or
foreign income.
foreign income. And
True.
then there was this challenge
Mm-hmm.
that his income was in their own language, all the documents,
Oh,
everything. So we
okay.
need to get a certified translator,
In
get
English.
those documents translated, and many of those documents were sent directly from his bank
Mm-hmm. To,
to our Canadian bank so that the
okay.
income could be verified. And
Okay,
then,
yes.
yeah, the a little bit longer process in that, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm glad I
Yeah.
went through it and get him a property which he loves. And in the same area where the daughter goes to school, they had many things in their list. It has to be finished basement. It has to have 3 to 4 bedrooms. It has to have an ensuite and then Jack and Jill bath. So there were many lists in the criteria, and we checked all. And I was very, very happy, and the client is very happy too.
Yeah,
So,
so I think with the way you're explaining this story, I'm getting to understand that you have a process when you work with a new
oh
family.
yes,
Like
yes,
how would
there
you
is a
share that process with my viewers, that from start to end, like how you help them, like,
oh,
what's
it
your
depends,
process if you have one?
It all depends, Shivani. If they are first-time home buyers, so then they don't know anything. So you have
True.
to walk them through, they need to
Every
walk the
step.
approvals, of course, yeah. And even for the investors too, you don't know what experience they had previously with
Hmm.
somebody, and now, they're working with me. So I guide them, the price point, the market, and many of the investors, they're doing pre-construction. They want to buy on hold the pre-construction and then sell it on assignment, or
Hmm.
maybe rent it and then sell it after.
True.
So again, that's a process, and there's a HST rebate, and there are many
And
government
there are many new
incentives and
things
all
which
that.
coming and you know about them. So you can
Yes,
guide your
yes.
clients accordingly.
And for the seller point of view, if seller has to sell it and the property, again, if they're selling, they're downgrading or they're upsizing, or
Hmm.
which area, which market, and how to prepare their home to have
Hmm.
it a show-ready home. You know,
Hmm.
remember the staging we spoke about? So,
Yes, yes.
so the prepare, when a buyer comes in their home, they should
Mhm.
have that wow factor, the photography, it has to
It's
be
done
everything has to
properly.
be spick and span, yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
then the
And yeah, and that's the
timeline,
part of your process.
yeah, and
You
the
make them
timeline, where they have to sell it and then move where, or upsizing, downsizing, or now many of them
sure.
they're leaving the country. So that's another thing.
That Yeah.
Yeah.
You do things
So
in a pace which client wants.
yes,
Right?
yeah,
So you pick up your pace that way, and that are amazing. So I think these stories really help people understand the impact a realtor, a well-known and experienced realtor have when you work with them, right? And
this
when
is
they
so
work with
true.
you, so they know they are in a safe hand because of your experience, because of your process. That's really good to know, Shelley, because especially first-time home buyer, as you said, they don't know anything,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Many
And
of them,
same thing with us. When I do financial planning, people don't know what that is.
are how I see it, Shivani, we have to educate the client.
True.
So give them, and all the pros and cons on whatever they are looking at it. Give them all the data.
Yes, true.
Then let them make an informed decision on their own.
Yes,
So
yes,
our objective should be to give the client all the details,
which they
everything.
need.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
yes,
And
and
then
make the
they
process more
can make,
simpler.
yeah,
Yes,
and then they can make their wise and sound decision. And I understand you work with them with their budget, with the areas they're
yeah.
looking for,
It's
right?
very important. You don't want to buy that property in somewhere up north and they're working downtown Toronto. There is
No.
no connectivity, right?
And
So,
and I understand you have to guide them. You know what happened in our market in Ontario recently after COVID, prices were like people were buying real
oh.
estate like vegetables, I would say, right? Yeah, that's true. Taking their money out of their equities and thinking it's gonna keep going at that bubble burst. And it happened to so many of my clients who moved away, Shelley,
Yeah.
and now their employer is asking them to come
Oh,
back.
yeah, this is a big thing now, even in Toronto. I think City of Toronto did the same thing recently. They
Yeah,
are
so I
asking
heard that
everyone
that
to
they
come
want
back.
people back in the
Yeah.
offices. And
Yeah, they
now
don't
look
want
at the driving
homeschooling, right?
time,
Yes.
right? And if you don't have a battery car, guess what? You're paying for the gas. You know, those things like a good realtor needs to touch those points too.
Oh, no, no,
Can't,
for
right?
sure. For
And
sure. Yeah.
because we don't want them to get stuck. No, amazing. It's really good that I'm asking you all these questions, and
Yeah.
I'm sure my viewers are learning a lot from it. So I would like to thank you so much that you shared your valuable time with us. We, ask you a few things, and I would like it's incredible, valuable information. And for everyone watching, whether you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing, if you have any questions, I will be putting Shelly Sharma's information in my notes. Her contact information will be there. And also, if you're looking to make a finance decision, any planning you want to do, because it's the biggest asset you're buying, right?
Sure.
And
Sure.
according to that, around that, you also need a financial planning. I'm here. You can reach me out as well. And we are here to help you make a smart, confident financial decision in buying a property or doing any financial planning. Thank you again for watching, and you will see us next time. Until then, bye for now.